Hey, what's up players? Sorry it's been a while since I last uploaded. Clearly I missed out on a lot of fighting game news when I was out. One of those being the official announcement of Virtua Fighter 6, aka Virtua Fighter Crossroads. There was leaked footage that came out literally right before Combo Breaker, but we finally get to see the showcase that took place after the Summer Games Fest, where the leaked footage came from. From the trailer and showcase shown at Summer Games Fest, it is very clear that Sega is going hard on single player narrative. The fighting game portion, they already got locked. I'm very confident that they're gonna nail that, but the fact that they're tackling a single player campaign of this magnitude for a fighting game is insane. This definitely feels like an expanded version of Street Fighter 6's World Tour mode, but led by the RGG guys, makers of Like a Dragon / Yakuza series. Something that I'm very excited about is the fact that my main Pi has definitely been confirmed. We did see her from the leak, but we weren't entirely sure if it was her or not, but now we know for sure that she is definitely in the game. So I already have my main locked, so I'm happy about that. There was also another trailer showing at EVO that I was totally not expecting, which was titled The Bakunawa Killer. I hope I pronounced that right. They are building up a lot of mystique about this guy. We don't see his face in this trailer, but given Pai's reaction after she unmasks him, is someone that she knows. Given his fighting style, we can only lean towards the idea that this is Lei, because Lei was a trained assassin in Virtua Fighter lore, and part of his thing is trying to take moves from other fighters to add to his repertoire. And there were definitely some moves that are giving me ideas that this is Lei, because there are some moves that remind me of Lei, but there are also some moves that remind me of Lao. Given that he was Lao's student, I'm inclined to believe that he did manage to learn some of his moves. Shameless plug, but if you'd like to know more about Pai, her father Lao-chan, and Lei, I did talk about them in a video, so go check it out if you like. I'm seeing other people's theories that this is possibly her father Lao-chan, which is an interesting theory because Lao has been shown to be very sick for the past few games, especially in Virtua Fighter 5, where it's the most obvious that he wasn't doing well. So a lot of people were pretty much expecting that, yeah, he's not gonna make it in the next Virtua Fighter. Plus, I don't know if he's been shown to have assassin capabilities. He's definitely a deadly, but don't know if he will go so far as to be a killer. So that would definitely be an interesting angle if they were to go with that, but your guess is as good as mine who this is, or it could be an entirely new person. But we'll have to find out more as we get more details. More Virtua Fighter related news is that Virtua Fighter was held at EVO, and there was a really sick top 8, and in the grand finals there's this one sequence that literally just straight up looks like an action movie.
DK.
Nice.
The wall.
Okay, yep. He's going to try and keep him pinned by that wall. We're playing
Look at this.
100 miles an hour right now. Look at the crowd popping up. The side steps are crazy.
Oh, that duck comes
and
out.
He
Listen.
the beat kick. This is insane.
Welcome to America.
Hey guys, this sequence is so incredibly cool with all the side steps and the dodges and the throw breaks. You can't tell me that Virtua Fighter ain't hype. So looking forward to Virtua Fighter Crossroads, and if you are interested in getting the Virtua Fighter, there is Virtua Fighter 5 Revo out right now. Really great game. Besides Virtua Fighter, another fighting game that I'm really looking forward to is Avatar Legends, the fighting game. I'm surprised they're actually going to keep that as the final title, but no, it is what it is. This game looks absolutely sick. I've been keeping up with this game. I really wanted to get into the closed beta that they had a while back, but I didn't get in, unfortunately. So all I could do is just watch other people enjoy the game and watch the showcases that have been held. But really looking forward to this game. Looks super sick. I'm glad that they delayed it, because delaying it means that they have more time to polish it up, but it also means that it pushes it closer and closer to Marvel Tokon's release, which we will talk about Marvel Tokon in a little bit. So here's hoping that this game does have its audience that is willing to stick with it even when Tokon comes out, but I'm really looking forward to it. Again, hoping that it does well. Speaking of Marvel Tokon, that is actually another game that I am kind of looking forward to. It's interesting because at first it seemed interesting, but I was kind of leaning more towards Avatar, And at first, in terms of what I've heard from the first 2 betas, is that the game seemed cool, but it didn't seem like it had the sauce. But from what I've gathered and the little bit that I played at Combo Breaker, and when I mean a little bit, I mean a little bit, the game's pretty fun. Arc System Works has taken a lot of feedback into consideration and made some changes that the fans said they'd like to see. They took a lot of those changes to heart and implemented a lot of them to make it a lot smoother. Again, I didn't get a chance to play the first beta, so I can't really compare how it feels. I can only go off of what people were saying, but it seems like this game is shaping up to be really great. Now the thing is that with a 4v4 tag game with the Marvel license, there's a lot of characters that fans would like to see. There's a lot of characters that were in the Marvel vs. Capcom series, but this is not being made by Capcom. So even characters that were in Marvel vs. Capcom have an entirely different reimagining under Arc System Works framework. Now, the thing about me is that I'm not super into tag games. I always enjoy watching Marvel vs. Capcom at tournaments, not so much playing it myself. But since this wasn't going to be Marvel vs. Capcom and it's a fresh start, I was kind of interested, but at the same time I didn't really have a character. There are definitely characters that I had in mind of who I wanted to play, but I didn't really have like enough to build a solid team. It was more like I could see myself playing this character rather than, dude, my character is in the game. They did have Hulk, which was one of the characters I was really looking forward to, because Hulk, despite me not being a fan of big body characters in fighting games, I make an exception for Hulk because I just really like the character. Before the final team was revealed, there were characters that I was really interested in, such as Hulk that I mentioned earlier. Doom always looked great from the beginning in my opinion, but I still needed that character that was like, okay, this is the character that's gonna make me get this game no matter what. So I was putting a lot of stock into who was gonna be revealed on Team Ghost Rider, because certain Marvel characters that would have made me go, okay, I'm locked in, I have to get this game now, are characters such as Nightcrawler. Really love Nightcrawler. The Fantastic Four, or really any of the Fantastic Four members. Now, I would love a team that's just Fantastic Four, since this is a 4v4 game, so that would just make more sense. But I don't know if people would like a team that's just Fantastic Four. I would personally, but I know a lot of people probably wouldn't care too much for that. But the thing is that the Fantastic Four they've always switched out their team dynamics every so often. One of those characters that would get switched out within the Fantastic Four would actually be She-Hulk, another character that I was really looking forward to. The John Byrne run is probably my favorite interpretation of She-Hulk, definitely more so than the Disney Plus show that came out. She-Hulk's definitely one of my favorites. I just like her and Bruce. They're really cool. But then the last character that really would have made me go, okay, I'm a lot more interested in this game is Blade. So I was putting a lot of stock in the Nightcrawler because I thought that would be a very interesting dynamic to have him and Ghost Rider be on the same team together. Fantastic Four, or any of the Fantastic Four members, I deep down felt like, yeah, there's no chance any of them are gonna be with the Team Ghost Rider. She-Hulk kind of got dashed when she was shown to be in the background on one of the stages. Not to say that background characters can't also be in the game, because there has definitely been cases of that happening in a Street Fighter that I can think of as an example. But yeah, once I saw her in the background, I kind of just rolled off that, okay, she's probably not going to be a playable character at launch anyway, which meant that a lot of stock had to be put into Blade possibly being in the last team. And wouldn't you know it, there he is. And not only that, he actually looks sick. So now we have our full roster of who's going to be in the game. To be honest, I would have liked to have seen at least one more team get added so we can get a nice 24 roster, but it's not bad, and the characters do seem very unique from each other to at least make it so that you're not gonna feel like you're playing like multiple of the same characters over and over again. Plus there's a lot of character variety with the assists. I'm just hoping that they have a lot more characters down the line. I'm not sure if they're gonna wait until like they showcase a whole team, or if they're gonna drop characters individually. Not sure how they're gonna handle that, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Still trying to figure out who I will have on my team. I definitely doing Hulk, Blade, possibly Doom, and I'll have to check out who will be my 4th character that I'd like to have. But I'm looking forward to Marvel Tokon. It definitely went from a game that I was not too sure about to actually legitimately being interested in. I don't know how soon I'll get it, because again, Avatar is coming out pretty soon, but it's definitely a game that I'm more willing to check out now than I was previously. And just to throw it in here, some games that I've been playing while I was on my brief hiatus were More Slice, pretty cool indie game if you like the Prince of Persia, Mirror's Edge, that kind of stuff. Expect word of mouth on this pretty soon. And another game that I've been playing a lot of is Atelier Aisha. I really want to try to beat this game because this game has been in my backlog for a good while now, and yeah, I want to lock in, actually beat it so I can move on to a new JRPG, because I have too many JRPGs to play and I don't have the time to play them like I used to. So I'm trying to lock in and trying to beat some. Yeah, that's all the fighting game news that I have so far. Thank you so much for your patience while I was away. I was not expecting to be on that long. The plan was I was going to be moving, and yeah, that whole thing turned out to not be great. I don't want to go into too many details, but we're back here for the time being until we get a new place. Well, another new place, because this one didn't work out in the end. So we're still here now that whole thing is situated. Expect to see more of me. Let me know down below if there's any fighting games that you are looking forward to, if you're going to be playing Avatar or Marvel Tokon, or if you are excited for Virtua Fighter Crossroads. Let me know down below. If you're looking for a non-denominational church, down in the description below will be a link to a church locator. Also down there you'll find a link to 2 Discords, my Discord and the Christian Fighting Game Community Discord. Feel free to join those if you'd like. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, it will help me out a ton. Also, side note, I might sound weird for a little bit because as it turns out, I have an allergy to cat dander, and I have a cat without realizing that I'm allergic to cat dander, so that's awesome. But we're still keeping him, so just trying to figure out ways to help mitigate my allergies. So I might sound weird for a little bit until I get solutions that help me out. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and until next time, peace.